So, Abfahrt.
Well, I think in isolation, the drafts have been fine. They have been really tough to pilot into what we've seen from B&K in Game 1. Massive Prio Deficits and then in Game 2.
Ich weiß nicht, wie es funktioniert mit den Gruppen. Ich habe actually keine Ahnung. Ich vermute mal, es wird nach Stärke ausgesucht. Also die werden wahrscheinlich die müssen ja die leichte Gruppe bekommen, sehr sicher. Aber ich habe keine Ahnung, wie es funktioniert bei First Ins.
Especially from the first pick side, but does mean they're going to be looking for one of these picks. I do wonder which one it will be.
Ari, oder?
Pantheon still left up so far. Poppy as
Wir suchen
well.
nach Ari, oder?
Mbessa and Lucian.
That's a great ban, though, I think, into Diablo. And one that I think D+ may have to go for the rest of the series. Unless they want to put Smash on the same pick. It's just such a strong pick for him, and he has warped so many games for it. And once again, 3 in a row, the Mbessa will be taken away here from Shiu and Lucid. So you chose first pick. You opted into it. What will that first pick be? A little bit less obvious here than it was in the last 2 games. Because yes, you have Pantheon, and it is the highest tier left, but you don't have the Talia anymore. You don't have the Rise. You don't have that strong global rotation power with this Pantheon. It's still strong in its own right, but not as strong as it was earlier in the draft. And now that you know, we'll just go over and return, and maybe they'll just grab a little bit, Valdez. And I worry already for D+ when I see this duo on the other side.
Yeah, it's very difficult because there was just so much left up. I mean, even Poppy's available if B&K want to play that a little bit later on. If DK overcommit into aggression, which
they
might just be able to do here with the Pantheon.
Alle First und Second Seed LCK, 2 Seeds, also 2 von LCK, 2 von China. 1 EU, 1 NA, 1 Brasilien und 1 LCP. Diablo ist sehr gut.
This is a career favorite. He has a 100% win rate on Aftershock Nami as well. But it is a it is a very, very tall task to come back in this game if you fall behind in this lane. And Nocturne, an unusual pick in this scenario, but we'll be able to match Global, the Pantheon, and can also mess up.
Stinkt das scheiße, oder? Der Nocturne-Pick. Mal schauen, halt drin.
Trying to lock down, point click on this Yunara. So it does make sense.
Klingt ein bisschen, oder nicht?
It's a good call. You want to be just going forward. You know, like you would play a Zeri comp, you just want to essentially take the aggression off of the Yunara here. As now we're going to have the Gwen banned away. That was hovered last game, but we did not see it into the Renekton, so the Aurora instead. So still left up here in Game 3.
I'd almost rather see D+ just extreme simplification of this draft. They banned the Ahri. I was thinking...
BFX ist ja so gut ist. Roster solid, honestly. Roster solid. Solid drafts.
We're playing a dive comp.
Mit dem Duell-Klasse.
On the follow.
It's that simple.
The ult comes through from the Pantheon. Because this is Diablo we're talking about here. Next to Ruler, nobody has really been able to do what this guy has done on this pick when given advantages. Smash has had his own fair share of games with this pick this way, but guess what? He's not piloting it.
Gwen raus, Akali raus. Wollen die haben?
And
Ari raus, Cannon raus.
Frontline, you just try to go toe to toe with this Corki. Just not going to be able to match the damage output. So,
ist Hunter oder On-Blind? Oder was?
Have the counter pick because they opted for first pick. The Pantheon they got is great, but now it's up to D+, or rather up to B&K what they want to pick here first. And I think mid blind is probably the same option.
Ach du Scheiße.
Zoe Nocturne looks to be the play here for the side of B&K.
Okay, kann der gemerkt werden.
So,
aber Blindpick, warte mal, Blindpick Showmaker jetzt nicht die Zoe?
So we have Blind Cassante coming in here for clear.
So
warte mal.
Could be powerful here for Showmaker. Even Syndra, as much as I loathe the champ oftentimes, feels like it could be great setup in this draft that, again, needs to find some way to kill this Yunara. More engage is always going to be better.
Ja, hä?
The Zoe is going to be what they opt for. They take it away.
Also, hä?
The expectation here.
Die ganze Seite ziemlich gut. Und Jax auch noch. Hä? Also diese 4-5, also mir gefällt, okay, ich sag, mir gefällt der DK Draft mehr.
Will Vikla just play
also mir gefällt dieser DK Draft mehr.
The question as the Jax comes through here, something like a Victor or even like a Mel doesn't feel out of the question here in this draft. Can be quite strong.
Like Galio.
Vielleicht haben sie einen Counter, ja, maybe.
Protection on to clear and Diablo and say it's 1v9 Diablo time. which has often been a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, you got the Nocturne as well.
Syndra, though,
but instead,
this is what I thought Showmaker would do had he chosen this pick instead of the Cassante. A little bit surprised to see the tables on this one, because this feels highly unnecessary.
Ich finde den DK Draft besser.
Because this does neither what you and I went on into two sides of the coin of Galio for protection.
Aber Syndra ist scary. Syndra ist gut, aber ich finde den DK Draft besser.
Because you already have the Cassante frontline and you turn a single threat comp into a double threat. This is engage and pick in a draft that has a scaling Unara and a Cassante frontline, and it doesn't actually synergize that well with Nocturne either. It can if you're in the right place at the right time. And the Nocturne finds that ambitious ultimate.
Wenn sie den Draft nicht gewinnen, dann gibt es keine Hoffnung. Ich finde den Draft von DK besser. Persönlich.
They have to be in the right place at the right time, and generally from ahead can feel very good. You know, when the Syndra spikes one item, you get the Hex Plate for the Nocturne as well.
I just think when I look at how this series has gone, it feels like a neutralizing pick to try to shut Showmaker out, but Showmaker has had the better early games in both of our first two games. And so for the first time in this series, with this Syndra pick, I thought up until that moment, I really liked the draft better for BNK. I'm going to have to give D+ the nod in this one in Game 3.
Ich verstehe den Nocturne halt nicht, das ergibt ja keinen Sinn, oder nicht? Du spielst Yunara, Lulu und dann pickst du Nocturne dazu, das ergibt gar keinen Sinn. Also nein, das muss DK gewinnen, dieses Game.
In game number 3. We'll have to wait and see how it does go as we hop onto the Rifts for that game number 3.
Das muss DK gewinnen, dieses Game.
And here we go. Lower finals could be decided in this very game, as DK have found no luck in the first couple.
Das muss ein DK-Win sein.
Just shutting them out so far.
When I think about side lane champions that are really, really powerful to play through with a Nocturne that can shadow them, Cassante and Syndra are absolutely not on that list. They're not the ones you think, they're not the ones that come to mind. As coming to mind down here is a heal trade and a strong level 1 for BNK.
Freunde.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Lulu.
Freunde.
I feel like it goes with pretty much anything.
Was machen wir hier unten?
And especially with hyper carries. When Karma's gone, you can just be so aggressive, so annoying, and you have people on your team. I think Smash and Career are being out-traded.
Wieso lassen wir uns wirklich?
Of Unara level 1 is that it takes a few auto attacks to charge the Q, but if you actually have the heal to push in and start those trades faster, and the Lulu has more damage throughput, you'll always win that exchange. You'll be able to force barrier, and you'll get your Q online so you can continue the extended trade, and Corki will never be able to match the damage, even with Career here. And so Diablo and Kellen play this aggressively. They understand the tempo well, and they will get level 2 first and control this wave.
Yeah, not too surprising, but the way the trades went.
Orkinami, nicht OP auf Level 1, guys. Level 2, spätestens Level 3, dann kannst du traden. Nicht Level 1.
As Clear's going on in, he's going to dodge the counter-strike and actually get a nice little trade against you. I feel like the Cassante should have an advantage against the Jax, but eventually the Jax will become a problem.
Oh,
as Lucy
wait.
Through his own jungle, doesn't know that Raptor is here. And we don't know
exactly
he is either. Just
was?
Go for the wolves, maybe?
Was?
Well, Lucid coming on in, going for an early gank. And
okay.
Dies.
Okay.
Blood given over to Career, but it's still a kill. It's now Raptor
was?
Gonna try to get out of there.
Wait, der ist auch noch tot. Mir ist flashlos. Oh mein Gott, disgusting.
Closer, and Raptor gonna have to flash himself. Does spell shield the sleep, and he will be okay.
Okay.
Just a complete. I mean, I don't want to call it unlucky, but misread perhaps is the easier way to cast or explain.
Spielt so mit Heal. Interesting.
Raptor is trying to utilize the prio in this 2v2 lane that we talked about so much already, how powerful the Lulu is early, to try to then steal away some cabs. Unfortunately for him, he's hoping that it's multifaceted. He comes over here, sees if the Pantheon is bottom side, and he tries to take the Wolves away. Instead, he misses Lucid, has no idea, and his overextension here ends up being a huge problem. Tries to make something of it, will trade his flash there in the end. But Nocturne early game, definitely a little bit weaker than Pantheons, and I think they should have at least put a ward down right there on his...
Wahrscheinlich, ja, also wegen W wahrscheinlich, also, ja, ergibt schon Sinn.
Basically in their blind spot.
I guess auch gut gegen Level 6. Damage.
Yeah, very interesting way to start it off. Career gonna try to hit first item a little bit quicker with that first blood gold that he did pick up.
Ich finde den First Blood auf Nami sogar okay. Also,
So far, took a lot of deaths on the
Early Mandate ist, ich glaube, okay, ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, Mandate ist ein größerer Spike als Triforce in dieser Combo. Muss so sein eigentlich.
I don't really feel like that was his fault, but I do worry for his mental state. As we know, Career can struggle with that from time to time. I don't think he should take it too personally from the first couple of games, but they need him to be playing good League of Legends.
Guter Play.
Speaking of which, he's going to have to flash away. Career flashes forward as well, and Diablo
Oh nein.
like, I've got an opportunity here as barriers
Okay.
going to be traded.
Yeah, Kellen gets his heal back online, so that's a little bit of extra health as they get the slow.
Back Flash.
In Career in a lot of trouble, no sums. Couple more autos.
Oh mein Gott, er ist tot.
Flash forward and Diablo, seeing blood in the water, picks up a kill for himself.
The Unar damage output is just so insane. They almost had enough to take Kellen out there, but his heal comes back, and the turnaround on the second Q is there for Diablo.
Ja, Nami ist mit einer der besten Early Games.
Kill there, Smash. As Flash doesn't have any agency
Oh,
with
Bot, dann
it.
ist Rough 15 CS down. First Blood wieder für
Now he's
ihn.
down summoners and lost his life. As you see here, Kellen almost goes down, but Smash uses a lot of buttons for this, and he's low on mana, and Diablo's like, okay, I want to play for this. His second Q comes back, he has the barrier, now he has enough damage output to where he knows Smash without barrier cannot actually...
Jesus.
If he steps up, he will lose the trade, and Career is isolated. Smash being too low health here means that with that slow coming down,
Gut gesehen, right?
life is over.
Gut gepunished.
There, Career, his first death of the game in this one. Back to Vikla here. The laning phase has been pretty stable. You know, we haven't had that first dragon just yet, so we'll see what happens, as that's kind of been the struggle for him so far this game.
Yeah. Those first dragons...
or this series, I should say.
Yeah, they've been a big factor in terms of getting those stacking drakes going, especially for game number 1. Felt like a lot of oppression. Game number 2 a little bit less because they were just so far ahead. But either way, gonna feel good for DK to be able to pick that one up as Shiu does get traded against. He's doing a great job here in the top lane. Getting ahead here on this Jack's gonna feel very good, as Lucid will pick up the streak with the help of the Corki.
Auch den Drop von DK trotzdem noch mehr.
Win of the Talia that Vikla picked up in the game.
Trotz Grief.
His Syndra is now his lowest win rate champion with more than 15 games played.
Wow.
And so a lot of confidence again for him to pull this out in a series like this, again, without having a lot of success on it. Similar to the Twisted Fate we talked about many series ago that he pulled out to find great success there.
Wo geht der erste Man-Drop hin? Muss eigentlich Botlane kommen, ne? Double Flash down.
So Vikla, I
Erste Panther-Typ muss Botlane kommen.
out of his shell a little bit here. Push the boundary. Speaking of,
Gotta be very careful. If that hits, I mean, there is kill pressure, and maybe a Raptor has to come on over, but he's not even level 6. So, getting a little bit frisky, as Vikla has been this entire day. It's gonna be a plate going over to Showmaker, who does have Lucid nearby for protection. Gets the crab, gets level 6, picks it up first.
that win rate was 40, just to contextualize. I'm not saying he's sitting at like a 70%, 40%.
Okay.
So
Botlane
Raptor,
Ein Flash bei
six.
Korea.
he does have
Or a
that.
dive.
Yeah, he does have that opportunity set up here. Diablo, on
Fish.
the other hand, does not have wild growth, so
Stinkender toten Fisch, oder nicht?
this is really going to have to be a trade to start this off, I think, before this can actually go off. As Smash steps forward,
Gut von Korea.
This is smart
Oh.
from Career to stay as far back as possible. They need to know the timing. Lucid just hit 6. If Doc turns around and Career goes forward, he doesn't even have level 6, doesn't have Flash.
Also ich respekte ihn so gut, wenn du jetzt stirbst, bist du reported.
Lucid's on the opposite side of the map. Panther Ultimate does not reach
So
that.
lange respekten und dann sterben wäre respectable.
But ultimately do just decide to back away. His Doctor can still engage near Krugs, so he's not really losing too much as this wave pushes through to go ahead and take those. But it looks like nothing is going to eventuate from this little camp from Raptor down on the bottom side. He's coming back over now. And it looks like he's going to try to get more vision.
Und again gets.
Now does have wild growth. And that makes
Boah,
it
der ist lange.
important.
Yeah.
He actually has the advantage over Career for half a level. That was a huge window.
I mean, es ist ein Counter gegen Engel, aber ja, Level 6 Lulu ist schon.
Raptor's just itching. He wants to press it, and in he goes.
Der kann den Panther-Ulti.
To the Nami, and
Career ist tot.
like, what do I even do? I was playing carefully. As now Lucid gonna come in. They try to take down Raptor, but Raptor is so tanky, and Diablo just runs.
Jesus, er ist so OP.
Gonna push Smash
Fuck
just
me,
for
die Jonas OP.
good measure. and wins the trade in a big way. Now we have Burst coming in. Showmaker wants to punish Vikla here as the Q comes down, and Showmaker doesn't quite have the pressure. Kellen getting in. He wants to kill, but it goes over to Raptor instead. And Smash.
Boah, das ist so eine fette Bottom-Gap. Krank. Krank. Es ist so eine fette Bottom-Gap.
I think he's gonna live.
He's gonna live here because they just ran out of buttons. Everyone's too low. He could pick up a triple if they wanted to push, push it further or ask the question. As Career still doesn't have level 6.
Stirbt wieder.
No, Career not like this. He's gonna have to flash, and man, the dominoes, they're not even falling one by one. It's like the entire stack of them just got flattened.
Yeah, it looks like
Wir spielen Showmaker hier, besseres Trading Pattern in Lane, I guess.
Eventually, he just slapped them down. Like they stopped falling, actually, quite quickly. So what adds insult to injury here, as look at where Lucid is. They step forward because like, okay, Lucid now is in ult range, but this happens so quickly.
So krank nah. Also Raptor hat da ja wirklich eine Minute auf Bottom, wenn es überhaupt reicht. Eine Minute auf Bottom gewartet.
He's actually now an extra
Das funktioniert halt am Ende.
And they almost turn this into a triple here in the bottom side as he tries.
Hat auch so wenig Cooldown noch auf den Flash von Career. Hätte ihn abgewartet, wäre es so gut gewesen.
Here Lucid tries to channel it back. His burst down, and then Smash, luckily for him, is able to survive here. Very, very low on health. Diablo's like, I'm not going to pick up turret aggro for this one. Raptor's Q is not going to connect, and that's the end of that.
It's really just the burst damage. It's like who gets the initiation.
Fertiges Kraken. Hier ist das mal hier.
Career doesn't have tidal wave.
Mal schauen, Jax ist auch noch stark hier, aber Jax gegen Lulu ist natürlich immer ein bisschen unangenehm.
And of course, if he had flash, maybe he could bring him back, but he used it because he didn't expect the hide on bush tech, I guess. Once again. As now, here we got Diablo flash.
Wow.
Gonna get the wild growth on top.
Wow.
Is like, God, I don't get
Jesus fuck.
He is really not playing the game very much in this series thus far. That's a bit of a rough one. It's a trade of flashes for the 80 carries, but Barrier is gone. And with the one trade, it's hard for Smash to stay because the Nocturne is back up and ready with Paranoia.
Yeah.
You gotta clear that wave as fast as possible. They will be able to do it. So it looks like that's the end of the aggression there on the bottom side, but it may just be this is transitioned into a dragon take here for B&K, their first of the game, an Infernal. As we do see Lucid with his ult back up, and he's lurking around as well, so they need to be measured with this bottom 2v2 aggression now because Diablo still does not have flash. He just traded it.
Yeah, no wild growth, no sums. I think you do have to be a little bit more careful now, especially the Nocturne backed away. But Lucid is down here babysitting, just trying to help Smash farm a little bit. But Hexplate is done now. And that means that Raptor, you know, they should be looking for another play on the bottom side of the map. Lucid knows about this. But if they can get another kill into a dragon, you're beginning to take off on the B&K rocket in this game.
Certainly is looking pretty tough as Pantheon actually completes the back to pick up his Sundered Sky, but that means that he's not here, and this is a huge
Manda ist fertig.
For Raptor to start up this dragon. They have full control of the bottom lane. And I believe
Der eingepennt. Classic. Ist auch früh. Ist auch früh, ey. Katastrophe. Und Smasher kein Flash. Katastrophe. Oh, wait, maybe nicht. Diablo hat kein Flash. Oh, ne, Katastrophe. Wait, Vikla?
And now Vikla being burst away. The Unleashed power comes in though. Oh no, Diablo.
Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Und er ist auch noch tot.
For the side of DK, Vikla trying to get out.
Er ist nicht tot.
It looks like he barely will be able to.
Has the shield, gets the scatter, and he gets away.
Oi, oi, oi.
Very, very close.
Oi, 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 oi.
For D+, as things could have been much worse. And Vikla says,
oh, on vision.
To make that the case. Wants to lurk here and find Smash.
I think
schön.
He was on a ward.
Okay.
Schön, aber auch, also schön quasi pretended, ne? Super.
And Valdez, that vision toggle was, yeah, it was Vikla's. He did not know he was on a ward. And so going back to this initial play, at this moment, Diablo's like, okay, this is so free.
Alter, die Contesten ohne Gnade, ne? Egal was. Da wird immer Contesten, die gibt's kein Geben. Finde ich toll. Das finde ich nicht so toll, aber finde ich toll.
There's no way to lock him down anymore unless Showmaker hits a bubble, right? And Diablo chases forward here. Tidal wave buys some space. And then at this moment, Vikla's alone, running forward. And then Diablo's like, I guess I'll clean up your mess. So then he goes in alone and gets caught. It's just a bit sloppy here from B&K. Not really two ways about it. D+ thanks to the freebie.
Wie kam Clear? Was? I guess 2 Drakes.
And actually, the Infernal
Okay.
did go over to DK. So they were on it, and Showmaker tried to rotate over, it looks like, and just kind of dies. So Mountain Soul this time. No Hex Tech for a third time in a row.
It's a pretty good win, or big win for BNK that they're able to at least get Showmaker because, like you said, it's Double Dragon and Mountain. First non-Hex Tech Soul of the series. And that ends up being a bit of extra gold going over there, keeps them in the gold lead. But D+ have really turned this game around. You can see that despite his death, he has a significant gold lead himself, Showmaker. Corki has caught up in the bottom lane from what unfortunately was a lot of errors from Career there on the bottom side. Now this is just Showmaker, like I said, trying to rotate in. There was a control ward in that brush, so Showmaker didn't know exactly where anybody was. And Claire's just like, sorry, man.
I love that that happens to Showmaker. Just one of the most Cassante moments we've had in a while, and it happens to the guy who made the meme. Yeah, Showmaker not going to enjoy that too much, but this is pretty massive for DK, as you mentioned. 2 dragons.
Beide wissen, was hier abgeht, oder?
Every facet, and Vikla once again. This
Wow.
time he's just going to face
Vikla's
it.
tot.
And guess who's here? It is indeed.
Wow.
Somehow Career.
Oh, Showmaker auch tot.
As now they're going for the kill. Up on the top side, looks like once again Showmaker will meet his arch nemesis as Clear picks up another kill and gets him down.
Der Arme.
But that is you.
And the lane
Gonna force him to ult away.
here a little bit awkward for DK. Like they have
Yunara balanced.
with the Pantheon, so he's relatively free to farm, but I don't know if he needs to be here right now as the Jax is dealing with the Yunara, so not having a great time.
Was?
What's going on here?
And
Wieso ist mein Jax tot? Wie ist mein Jax tot? Was?
And he just dies in the mid lane to the Yunara. Like I was saying, this is not where the Jax wants to be. The Jax wants to be dealing with the Cassante, where you can counter-strike and buy space. Not where Showmaker is, who ends up getting caught there on the top side and burst down. And D+ is macro. Falling apart a little bit here in this mid-game, and now the Herald is up for grabs.
Aha. Aber contestbar oder nicht? Keine Ulti auf Yunara? Die hat noch Ulti. Oh, ne, Moment. Ne, die sind so viel schlechter. Die sind so viel schlechter. So, die sind so viel schlechter.
And BNK, the rocket has really taken off here.
It really is.
Krank.
3 grubs already theirs. Herald in their possession. And it's moments like this.
Springt er da rein?
We have to question why are the lanes set this way.
Was?
No.
Which is just some greed there on the bottom side for Corki, ended up being in an awkward spot coming back. Shiu has to clean up the mess. The wild growth is incredibly powerful, obviously, in this type of situation. And over here, like Vikla just ends up getting the massive one, right? Like he ends up getting the double here. Diablo set up. And there's just, like, the contest of this didn't even really make sense. And maybe they thought Vikla was backing and had been completely just opted out, and perhaps without him they could make something happen. They were wrong if that's what they thought, and they're very aware of it now as the only lead, again, was the most popular player in the arena in Showmaker, but everything else is in complete shambles for D+.
Yeah, the first pick Pantheon has been dealt with in a huge way by BNK. They knew exactly what to do. The Nocturne attacks first, can get into the fight faster, and essentially just kind of ignores the Pantheon. And the Yunara Lulu was just never going to be matched. Not in a game 3 of Fearless by DK, not by these 2 players. And now the siege is coming down. Vikla takes just an insane amount of damage for some reason. Meanwhile,
okay.
rather is pushing the top lane.
Showmaker's is trying to get as much gold as he can because I think he's realizing very quickly that he needs to be the big man on campus in this game and pop off.
Nee, diese Yunara wird dieses Game carryen 100%. Das ist nicht balanced, was der hier abzieht. Wenn der noch Mikaels bekommt von der Lulu, dann
as much money as possible to make that happen. As now finally the lanes are set up back the way they should be here for D+. And I mean, it's
much to Smash's
macht so Solo.
chagrin. He's not very happy about this.
It's wild to think that. Okay, we are going to.
Das ist ein cooler Play.
Gank here, so I'll hold my words for a moment.
Yeah, I got to land the stun, and the bubble is going to sail wide, and Smash once again tries to step up to
Jesus
Diablo. The
Christ, Mann.
As we do see the follow
Gibt's nicht im Balanced.
It's going to keep him at bay.
Der ist auch so geistkrank aggressiv, ne?
As Diablo is just
Jeder Play, den er...
Lucid is here, and the flash.
Diablo baits him. He baits him.
Oh, he's just styling.
Und der ist wieder tot auf Bot.
Right now, and Showmaker once again has to deal with these 2. Once again dies to the Cassante.
Nee.
I mean, what do you do? When we
Nee.
the desk the other day, he was like, I don't know why Diablo plays like this doesn't need to, but it's fun to watch and it works out as he's literally baiting the Pantheon.
Wir müssen abballen.
He has his flash at the ready. He's standing on the edge of the range. You can see it.
Yeah.
You can practically see the range indicator with your eyes as you watch that moment. And he's just so ready.
Yeah, BNK are here farming wins, and Diablo's here. He's like, I want some of those Showmaker fans to look at me as the next generation of the LCK. As we definitely know, he is a big part of it. It looks like this first Mountain Drake should be going over to the side of BNK. Channeling a back here is Cassante. Just gonna find Xiu, who's like, well, what's going on here in this bush?
Ja, aber what the fuck?
It's not gonna do all too much against these.
What the fuck? Risky danke für 15.
Damage, a massive stun comes down.
Big Man hat doch schon, boah, honestly, wenn du ihn spielen willst. Weiß nicht, ob es da so einen geilen Spot dafür gibt. Nee. GG. GG. Das ist krank. 3-0 hier.
And he does exactly that. BNK now 5,000 gold ahead, Wolf.
The first pick Pantheon is 0 and 4. And it looked like a balloon dashing to a needle in that last moment. As he just goes in looking for any opportunity. This is the demise of Showmaker from moments before. And he is just taken out to sleep on the Nocturne, but can only sleep one of them. And then here, desperation.
Also BFX hat morgen eine Chance? Ich glaube nicht. Also aufs volle Best of 5 Win, glaube ich nicht, ne.
Lucid's like, maybe there's something in this. Maybe there's enough damage here. Maybe I can actually pull this off. Oh, no. Where does he go? Straight into the back line. Gotta kill Vickle. Vickle just flashes and then he just disappears.
Der Teamfighting ist aber auch gut, ne?
Not strong enough. No follow-up.
Genau, das kann Tabis gehen, ja.
And we have two global jungles in this game. One of them feels truly worldwide. The other one...
Heute gute Laune, geht, ja. Bisschen wenig geschlafen, aber passt. Warum?
Lucid has died everywhere. And Raptor has killed everywhere. And now we're looking at a 6,000 gold lead here at 20 minutes. And I was promised this series would go the distance. I was promised we didn't know what was going to happen. And I think that was true. That sentiment was felt by almost everyone. And the crowd is 4D+.
Yeah.
I cannot stress this enough. The crowd is 4D+.
Vergessen, so gestresst gewirkt. Nein, du fragst halt seit 2 Wochen nach Timo Jungle, aber ich möchte halt manchmal nicht. Also, ihr müsst aufhören, Champions zu requesten.
7,000 damage ahead of not only Smash, but like he's 7,000 damage ahead of him, and that's the closest.
Ich möchte nicht unbedingt, also.
No one else. She was at 9,000.
Yeah.
Showmaker's way down there.
Ich habe doch schon gesagt, wenn es einen Timo-Spot geben würde, wenn es einen gegeben hätte, dann würde ich ihn spielen. Und das gestern war kein Timo-Spot, aber ich habe ihn trotzdem gespielt. Aber ich möchte halt einfach nicht unbedingt immer 20 Champions gestern haben. Gestern wurde Champion gespielt? Ja, weil ich ganz sauer war. Aber es war halt kein Timo-Engel, also war ein beschissener Timo-Engel. Es war ein horrible Timo-Engel. Genauso wie Chen Jungle. Ich möchte Chen Jungle nicht spielen. Dann habe ich trotzdem gespielt.
It's impossible for Xiu to be relevant, but he's also holding 0 grubs because they didn't get those either. And
ja, actually, also die Comeback-Story von Wickler ist insane.
shocking to think that the team that just
Comeback-Story von Wickler ist sehr insane.
T1 just cannot hold a candle to BNK here in this best of 5 today.
BNK looking insane tonight, and now they're looking for Xiu as well.
Ja, die werden so umgefahren. Ach du Scheiße.
A bunch does go into clear, but he is the tank. And so at the end of the day, he will
Team hat Punkte gebracht, aber du verstehst.
Das
ist mir zu.
Going the way of BNK. And they're just, you know, there's no big objectives. I guess they could go for Baron, but they say we'll take the kill first.
Dragons up in 140.
Die Story von Wickler, Comeback-Story. Der hatte ein beschissenes Jahr bei FlyQuest und dann ein beschissenes Jahr bei Rare Atom und ist dann jetzt hier bei 4X und macht jetzt ein International. Das ist geil in Korea, ne? Fällt in der LCS, fällt in der LPL und dann jetzt hier macht er ein International. What the fuck, wie tanky ist dieser Typ? Alter. Aber mit ADC, wenn es in 5 Games wird, ich kann mir vorstellen, dass ich kann mir sehr gut vorstellen, dass MK überfahren wird. I don't know. Längere wo Max gelingen, aber ich könnte sie nicht. Ich weiß nicht. Alex, ja. Ich weiß es nicht.
think they got to get out of here. Stat, although we are going to see Shiu going in to
Was?
slam the double stun. And now Showmaker trying to get something done as Unstoppable will go clear. And finally, Vikla is going to show
Ja,
up to
also
this one. And Shiu finally
1000 Gold für Shibu.
but eventually will bite the
Vikla ist auch noch tot.
Now we have the bubble coming in.
Vikla ist nicht tot. Vikla ist tot.
But he's just going to and trying to follow up here. He's going to pick up a flash, but not
Machen kein Damage.
to land too much.
LCK war eine E-Mail.
The
Komplette E-Mail.
Blast going to help build more space here, but I think that was the end of it, that final sleep. A lot of play here from Clear in this crazy scrap, which Diablo gets caught in as he greeds insanely for Raptors here, but he does have flash, right? He knows Cassante is somewhat nearby, gets the shield from the Cassante, has his barrier shield, and he almost bursts Lucid down. He is so close to killing him.
Weil LCK heute wieder so, also in der Theorie, er sollte knapper sein. Er sollte knapper sein, aber auch hier, ich kann mir halt vorstellen, also ich kann mir wirklich vorstellen, dass MK überrannt wird von MKC. Ich weiß nicht. Leon, Dankeschön für den 21. Danke, vielen Dank. Die sind 2-0, die sind komplett outskilled. Also wirklich komplett outskilled.
Shiu ends up in this chase here, getting a ton of value, and then Clear splits the fight. Raptor gets away here. There's the flash to get the double stun. And Showmaker is just
Heroes im Finale ist halt eine geile Story.
Bubbles, he wants to hit some of these paddle stars with these low health bars, but this moment here from Clear is fantastic.
MK hat einen fetten Heimvorteil, das ist korrekt, ja.
A little bit deep by himself for some reason, as Clear saves the bottom side of the fight. And ultimately, Kellen then has to save him. Some really good play from Kellen. This is a scrappy fight that didn't need to be that scrappy. The lead here for BNK, though, is so big. I just don't know if it matters that D+ get these small.
Kein Play funktioniert, ne? Das ist schon insane.
Yeah, it's not enough, as you mentioned. Now we're going all out.
Wow. Schön gespielt von Clear.
Back again. It is Nocturne.
Richtig schön von Clear gespielt.
To any side laner, as Diablo's just in it. I don't really know how he got here, but he is ready to fight, as he always is. Diablo picks up the kill and has the McHale's right there. Meanwhile, we see Smash and Career trying to push away the Cassante, but like, they're losing so much, man. BNK are just owning all of the games today.
Yeah, and this is, I think, in part due to draft. Something we haven't talked about that much, you know, in terms of the overall season. We've talked a lot about the AD carry meta, funneling your AD carry's goal, winning bottom lane, playing that 3v3 better. But draft has played a major part, I think, in so many of our playoff series, including BNK's win over T1, D+'s win over T1, and now D+'s loss. It looks like very likely here to BNK. No vision,
no
nothing.
Idea. Showmaker might just die here. The power comes in, and he is just hiding in the jungle. And no longer will Zoe be alive for this Baron. Career as well.
Ja, BFX bei First Land damit. Korrekt. Was krank ist. Was sehr krank ist.
And nobody can deal with him. Career goes down and Clear is behind enemy lines. BNK truly are off the rails now. As Vikla is back, decides to die.
10,000 gold.
Ich bin super impressed von diesem Team, das ist so geil.
Vikla, the worst thing is you might get a stern talking to after this game, but I just don't know if it is really going to matter here as D+ barely hanging on in this game, and to win this series and to face off against Gen.G, it will have to not only reverse sweep, but win this game, which is of the three arguably the most one-sided. As Vikla here gets the secure kill onto Showmaker, is otherwise very deep and absorbs a lot of resources here.
Wie gesagt, Kennen super, aber Kennen spielt nicht schlecht, by the way. Auch die letzte Series schon. Kennen spielt nicht schlecht. Wirklich. Vor allem auf Enchanter ist der wirklich super solid.
They can't make a dent in this lead, like into this lead. The wallets are heavy, whatever you want to say. No matter how well they play and how aggressively BNK play, it almost feels like they're being taunted by BNK because BNK are like way out of position, completely split. The Syndra's getting the wild growth, and you're like, yeah, but you still can't beat me. Does not matter. And you know, they had a early Drake lead in this game, but now we're evened up, and two of those Drakes are mountain for this Cassante. So there just isn't any good news. It's Unara with plated steel caps. And
I don't know.
Diablo's making a statement.
Sometimes the most unexpected result is the one that happens. Diablo is getting chunked out a little bit. Raptor getting flanked. He has to go forward. Doesn't really have any help from his team, though. Although on the bottom side of this one, Lucid getting shredded by this gigantic Unara. As Diablo is just running straight into
Jesus fuck. Oh mein Gott, die Schilder. Wow. Er ist so ein Psycho.
his team, and he knew it. Flashes into 4 people and does not get punished.
He just typed /God mode.
Er ist so ein Psycho.
And that's exactly what happened. His teammates give him all the resources. Smash here, looking for something.
Yeah, and they're stopping the back at the same time. Career's just dead, that's fine. But, like, they stop Smash from getting back so that...
DK ist schon los, ja.
That's an inhibitor down, and there's no angle.
No. Okay.
That's a very appropriate emote for the situation.
Nice. For the whole series.
This is just such a train wreck. And for BNK, there are no rules anymore. There is nothing you can do wrong. You cannot throw this game even if you tried. With the lead they have, the global they have, the 80 carry they have. Vikla is gonna look for an angle.
No. Well, it's looking like death number 7 for the most popular guy in the arena, as we've mentioned many times, but he was not able to put up the performance to back it up, as now the damage goes in on the Smash, and that is Vikla's job. Just do just that, and Smash does not get to play the game. Doesn't matter if he dies or not. Smash 4-1, he's like, well, I guess this just wasn't our LCK Cup. We got the win on to T1, and that was a little bit too much, I suppose.
Yeah, well...
And BNK, I mean, at least because this one is so one-sided, now I have hope that maybe BNK can do something tomorrow, because before this, I was like, well, just give Genji the trophy. You know, the classic saying. But BNK looking amazing tonight.
Ein BFX sieht sehr gut aus. Ich weiß nicht, ob es gegen ein Genji reicht. Ich weiß nicht. Ich glaube, wir müssen da realistisch sein. Ich weiß es nicht.
That is just an everything gap between these squads. A Showmaker trying his best to make something of this. The bubble.
All right, there it is, the bubble, but everything is...
Immerhin hat DK den einzigen Job erfüllt, dass die Freaks rauszukicken. Well played, BFX. Well played, BFX. Well played. Das war nicht ansatzweise close. Ab jetzt zu First Stand. Cool.